Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bullhorn Sports and 2-Minute Drill. Introducing your host, Johnny the Matador, and your co-host, the professional Tom Czarnecki. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Johnny.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for that warm applause. This is Johnny the Matador. Welcome to 2-Minute Drill with my co-host, Tommy Czarnecki. How are you, Tommy?
I am doing well. The weather is snowing like cat and dogs outside here tonight in the mountains. I live in the Smoky Mountains, if you know. And getting ready for a big NFL weekend. We're having a great NFL playoffs for our clients.
It's very exciting. The snow is here. I'm up north here near Philadelphia. We're going to get blasted. The Jersey Shore is really going to get hit hard. They're talking about 16 inches, maybe 17 inches of snow up here. So we're going to be hunkering down up here, and I hope you are safe there in the Smoky Mountains. I love that area. Been through the Blue Ridge, and well, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. And let's talk turkey, and let's talk about the NFC and AFC championship games.
The AFC championship game, the Cincinnati Bengals travels to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs.
All right, we got our first matchup here in the NFL with our we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Kansas City Chiefs. And what's your take on this game here?
So this game on your dial is game 321, 322, 3:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This Sunday, the Chiefs opened up at 6.5 points. Immediately, money was thrown on on that carpet. They moved it to 7. You can get 7.5, lower juice. And the total, believe it or not, went from 51-52. It's now at 54.5. It's probably going to climb a little bit more because a lot of bettors, generate bettors, love betting overs. And the Cincinnati Bengals, Burrow and company last week had 9 sacks, which I think is a good thing. He didn't want to put his team in bad situations if he would just throw the ball and cause turnovers. The Bengals are 6-0 against the AFC opponents. The last 28 road games, they have hit the under 19 times, which is unbelievable. They both played on January 2nd. Burrow and the Bengals had won that game 34-31. Burrow went amazingly 30 for 39. 446 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. Both teams were even on the no turnovers, 23 first downs. The Bengals stopped a Chiefs possible 8-game winning streak at that time. And this number, this is one of my, the hoagie money Italian sub-plays of the week. Last week we had the over on the Buccaneers, which hit late. I like the over here, 54.5. I think the Chiefs can get the 35, 37 points, and we can just call the day here. I just don't know about that side total.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure. I'm kind of leaning towards the Bengals on the dog, and that's going to be, the Johnny the Matador pick of the week. We're going to go with the Bengals +7. I think that's a comfortable spread. I think they can cover. I think it's going to be very close, just like that January 2nd game, the Bengals won 34-31. I'm a little bit surprised with this spread, with the Vegas odds making it such a big gap here. So I would definitely take the points on the Bengals. And if you look at the last game from January 2nd, total yards 475 for the Bengals compared to 414 for the Chiefs. Passing yards, like we talked about, Joe Burrow was phenomenal, 415 passing yards to 259. for the Chiefs. Rushing, you had the Bengals were at 60. That's where the Chiefs really stepped up, was in the run game, 155 yards. And they were both about the same yards per play at about 7.5 yards per play. So it was a very evenly matched game. Now we're later in the playoffs, and, Pat Mahomes has really stepped up. They really see, especially the way they played last week against the Bills. And, I really like this pick that we have here, too. I mean, the over, you saw it was 65 points last time they played. That was the point total. And we're going to go with the Bengals at +7 on the dog. All right, well, let's talk about our next game.
I would like to also add, before we go to the next game, the weather is going to be good, in the 40s. There's going to be no winds, maybe 2-mile-an-hour winds. And, you should get that 7 and ride it with the hook. You might have to spend 15, 20 cents, but I think it's worth it in a big spot like this, because normally these games will end on 7. So, I kind of agree with you. I just don't have a huge opinion on that yet. I have not talked to the guru about this. He's in Vegas for the week again, and he's
the guru. For our viewers and our fans, the guru is one of our top advisors in sports betting. He's a world-renowned, professional as well, like Tom Czarnecki, in picking sports, and he gives us a lot of fabulous sports analytics and information to make these high percentage picks every week.
He's an right? NHL guru. He is so good at the NHL. He's unbelievable. The best I've ever seen.
Absolutely. Well, our viewers have seen some of our amazing NHL picks, and that's compliment to the gurus. So we want to thank him for his contributions. Well, let's talk about our next game.
The NFC Championship game. The San Francisco 49ers travels to SoFi Field to take on the Los Angeles Rams.
We're going to talk about the San Francisco 49ers versus the LA Rams. And, the Niners really stepped up. They had that vintage game last week versus the Green Bay Packers. It was, very familiar to the Favre Young era where those two teams really battled. And San Francisco pulled it out. Now they're in this game versus the LA Rams. Let's talk about your predictions here.
Man, San Francisco 49ers, game 323, 324 against the Rams in the Dome. The line right now is at 3.5, the Rams, and 45.5. It's moving down slowly for the total. The Rams started 2-4 this season, and they ended up on an 8-3 regular season run, winning 9 of the last 11 games. And the Rams, they got Stafford thinking, hey, we got to win a division. We got to get to the Super Bowl. But
the 49ers have won 6 straight games.
6 straight times. 31-10 back in November 15th and 27-24 in overtime on January 9th. Now, the Rams just came off a, crazy game the first 3 quarters against the Buccaneers, and then they just plummeted in the fourth quarter, up 24 points. That's got to take some kind of headwind out of you for 2 days going into Tuesday or Wednesday in practice. Yeah, and it's
absolutely, yeah. There's so much riding on this game, but yes, the Niners, they have dominated the Rams. This season, and the one statistical area that I'm seeing, even from if you look at the 31-10 win on November 15th, the ground game for the 49ers, 156 yards rushing. Their time of possession was 39 minutes. That's
just insane.
That's dominating. That's really holding the football, for an extended period of time. And then if we go to their January 9th game, back on the run game, once again, 135 yards compared to 64 yards. and they also controlled the clock with a 36 minutes of the ball because it was an overtime game as well. And I'm just saying, you know, like they're all, everybody's talking about Aaron Donald. You know, everybody's talking about him. They're all praise this guy, and he's a Hall of Famer. He's the best defensive tackle in football. He's a beast. He's unblockable. But what I'm seeing here is he's getting gashed by the 49ers, him and his defensive line, in the last two games. And if Aaron Donald wants to be a Hall of Famer and wants to really be a legend, he needs to step up tomorrow with his defensive line, and they need to shut down the Niners' run game. Would you agree with that?
I would totally agree because, but I mean, there's another factor here too. The Rams, their inability to defend the middle of the field is going to be huge, or it could be huge. It could keep the clock going for the 49ers if those little play action plays or those, you know, quick slants with George Kittle. I mean, one of the best players in the NFL that no one's talking about that may steal this game himself. This line at 3.5 has been the same line the last two games they played. The 49ers are getting no respect, and it's probably because Vegas knows that if they put that line at 1 or 1.5 or 2, that money will come on the Rams. It will be lopsided. So they're trying to get a respectable number where money is on both sides of that play. And the 49ers are 6-1 as a dog. They don't care where they play. They just have to play effective. Now, I'm not sure if all the viewers actually read every information you can, but as far as the injury report is concerned, Rock, have you heard about Garoppolo this week?
I mean, what's his status right now? Can you let the viewers know? Is he 100%?
Well, I mean, normally in the last few weeks, his injury report was he has a shoulder injury and a finger or thumb problem, like throwing the ball. Right now, they removed, about 3 or 4 days ago, they removed the shoulder injury from that injury report. And normally it's official on Thursday. So we've got that information cleared. And you've got to wonder, is he in better shape now than he was? Because, you know, he was in the Super Bowl, 3 years ago. I mean, we might see another Chiefs and San Francisco Super Bowl, or something that you might have brought up 30 years ago. You know, absolutely. The Bengals and the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, we talked about that rematch. I mean, that was one of the most historic Super Bowls from 1989. Boomer Esiason versus Joe Montana. And I would love for the NFL, I would love to see this game repeated this year, Bengals versus Niners. And, you know, I already have I have the Bengals on the dog at +7, and I think they might even win outright and upset the Chiefs. And I think we're leaning more towards the 49ers tomorrow beating the Rams and running the football right down Aaron Donald's throat, smash mouth football, and playing 49ers football. That's 49ers football right there, running the ball. And Aaron Donald and his defensive front has yet to prove that they can shut down the 49ers run game.
Right, and the front four pressure on the defense for the 49ers, you know, great quarterbacks do not like just 4 guys rushing. You know, they want to see some blitz. They want those open cannons where someone blips from the side and someone's clearly open. That's where they make their money. And the 49ers don't have to do that. They were able to beat, Stafford twice. They beat Aaron Rodgers. They beat, the quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. They went on the road to beat Prescott and Dallas. So, that's a formula for success. And their defense secondary has improved throughout the year. They're actually playing good coverage football down the field. So, I love the San Francisco 49ers plus the 3.5 this weekend. And I know it's probably a sharp move, but that's, I don't care who's betting what. I'm looking at my numbers, and my number tells me that this should be like a pick'em game. Now, back in the day, when you're playing at home, you get 3 points. And, in this age of football, those points don't matter. The 3 points for home field, I mean, you're seeing teams, 3 out of the last 4 teams last weekend went on the road and won a football game in the playoffs. And it used to be the opposite, historically.
That's a great call. And, I like where your head's at. I like what we're calling here. We really want to see this 49ers-Bengals rematch from the 80s. It could be an exciting Super Bowl. And so we're going to go with, so we got the over in the Chiefs-Bengals at 54.5. We're going over. We're going with the Bengals on the dog at +7, take the points. And then we're going with the 49ers at +3.5 on the dog. And now how about a point total for the Niners?
I like the under.
Rams.
I see a dog fight. I see miserable. It's like when Misery and company, the Rams are going to be a little bit miserable, and it's going to be hard for them to do things they want to do in the red zone. So I like the under 45.5 right now, and don't let it keep creeping down. This is the NFL. Weird things have happened, and that's where my head's at right now. So
you like the under. You heard it right here on Bullhorn Sports 2-minute drill. Our picks are in, and let's grab the bull by the horns, as we say here at Bullhorn. And I just want to say thank you to our viewers for all your support, for all your likes, for all your views. This has been a lot of fun putting this together. And I want to thank our in-house professional, Tom Czarnecki, for really doing a fabulous job with all the picks, with the information. I mean, college basketball has been sensational. I mean, the last 6 games, the guy's 5-1 right now. So you want to follow us for college hoops. We're getting some awesome picks. We got a huge pick tonight, and we've already posted it. We got Wright State. Is that right? Who's it? Wright State tonight, right, Tommy?
Wright State -2, and it kicks off in about 45 minutes if we can get this podcast out there to the viewers.
Yes. I mean, this might be on a delay. We're probably going to post this tomorrow, but you can follow our picks, and we'll see if we win that Wright State pick. But we got our NFL picks in, and they're going to be fabulous. So this is Johnny the Matador for myself and Tom Czarnecki. We want to wish you the best of luck this weekend in all your NFL picks. Thank you.
Enjoy your collapse. We'll be seeing you in the next week or two for the Super Bowl.